seasons, drop the top a bit. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my girls head to toe designer. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. West LA, that where you find me though. Cha-cha matcha with a rockin' black clothes. Whip around that Batmobile, ducking 5-0. If you step to me, then be prepared for smoke, little bro. Let me feel myself a little bit. Let me blow this down a little bit. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit.
She don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know.
Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. The New York Jets taking on the Denver Broncos.
Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. So here are the Jets now, backed up to start their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there in the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
You often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
First carry for Kenyon Drake. And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Apparently this defense has come to play. A sack and a run stuff behind the line on the first 2 plays.
On the give, this is their fullback. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Here's the Jets punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here's Jackson. So call that a 56-yard punt with a return of about 11. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
After what we saw last week, over 400 yards passing, the obvious thing is to go talk to him. I want to talk to his receivers, and boy, were they enthusiastic about what happened then, and they can't wait for this week's game.
He was hitting them outside, over the middle, everywhere. And for his efforts, of course, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. From the 32 now. Here's first and 10.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands it.
And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
The Jets take over first and 10. At their own.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive, and they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And oh, deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rules seminar because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody.
No doubt about it. When you say free, that means he's got free reign to pick it up and go. And that's exactly what happened there. Took it in for a touchdown.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own 12-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
His throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Drake will start the drive on the ground. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will set up shop, red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
I think they're going to have to make some decisions here. That's his 2nd fumble here in the 1st quarter. And what I mean by that is, do you have the confidence to stay with him? Or are you going to have to make a change and maybe go to someone else?
So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. From 13 yards out. And this offense is running away with this one. Still 1st quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
The Jets take over 1st.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit, think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly, whatever. Hey, something to mix it up here. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And 9 yards to go.
He's going to look deep now for Landry. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
A very good punch, but a 16-yard return.
At their own 34-yard line.
So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
At his top speed, according to Next Gen Stats, well, really, it's ridiculous. Impossible, whatever you want to call it. 22.6 miles per hour. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. He'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback, because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos add on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease
in which he's doing it.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Valentine to return. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
The Jets take over 1st and 10. At their own.
New York set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Brought down at the 10-yard line.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Broncos 49, Jets nothing.
Second and 11. In trouble, and the ball's out. And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight. And this one is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Taken in at the 11. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Valentine to return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
the gun now on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over first and 10. Denver's offense ready to go again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last.
And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And this offense continues to pour it on. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
On first down, Drake. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
Brandon, that's the third time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, twos, oh my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Take over first and 10.
And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's second down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
Intercepted by the Broncos.
Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to read.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
And the route is on here in this first half. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
They're on 17-yard line.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers. And, you know, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out.
Let's see if he can do just that.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. Now for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this carries into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
The 33-yard line.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, what, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it? And now here's a new record. How with you? I cannot believe that ball went through the posts. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll stop him at the 1-yard line, but small consolation there following the turnover. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. It's the fullback with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And this offense is running away with this one. Well, fullback touchdowns have become rare. We just saw 2 of them by the same guy here.
And if you had him on your fantasy team, I'm hanging out with you now for stock tips.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
His throw incomplete. Jarvis Landry, Pro Bowl wideout, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
2nd down and 10.
And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Going deep here for Landry. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. He's looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Pick it up. You're embarrassing it.
So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. And that one will go down in the books as just a 1-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
They're on 26-yard line.
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime?
Let's go.
Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. He'll rifle this one deep, and this is caught, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. It's been quite the game for him individually, a trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route, whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Extra point forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their plate.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Denver, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the...
Today, from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Patriots taking on the Denver Broncos.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's Antonio Gibson. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jackson to return. He almost outkicked the coverage. A 57-yard punt, 15 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Brandon, it's always nice when you get recognized with an individual award. And he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. But when you do it in a win, so much the better.
Absolutely. And he was all talking about that win, not so much the award he received on Wednesday.
That's a nice-looking award. I wonder if he took it home, let him get out of the car, showed it off to the kids in the neighborhood, passed it around. Wonder what he did with it.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's going to take this down close to the 1st as he's brought down at the Patriots 17. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown.
What are you doing? Get up already.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is Gibson. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Gerald Everett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is Gibson. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
Patriots take over 1st and 10.
So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And his kick is indeed good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter.
Patriots nothing.
And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. New England trying to get a place on offense. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Solid way to start the drop. 13 yards, picking up the first. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Makes it 3rd and 11.
Going deep for Diggs. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. On the return, Jackson. Score. What a run. 79 yards on the punt return. And the Broncos push further out in front. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
And the lead is now 24. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is Gibson. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, and Next Gen Stats says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But now it's third down.
Third and 19.
Is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Taking it about the 16. Set to take over. The Broncos offense trots back out. And they've got to be thankful for the third phase in this one. They've had some nice punt returns on special teams.
And it feels like they're keeping it pretty simple, too. It's not a real complex scheme that they're using to return kicks. It's almost like they look to the sideline when they go out there and the coach just says, return wide side. Bring it over there, and off they go. Sometimes they'll go short side. But no matter what, it's working very well for them.
They'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Kyle Duggar up to make the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Shoves past another. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His sixth touchdown of the season. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And normally when you see guys moving this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour. And the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Gibson, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Let's take it on the 25. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for him.
And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Broncos add on. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Going deep for Diggs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for the Denver touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. 2nd quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. And his throw here is incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. Down the the numbers. There he goes. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. The try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game.
and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. It's 3 points.
Able to get away. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Point after here coming up. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now the try here for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Patriots take over first and 10 at their own.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. What did you see on that one? Rookie mistake or just good defense?
It was a combo plate, but the rookie quarterback, he'll take it all on his shoulders, and the frustration level is evident. You can see it with him. You know, if that's a veteran quarterback, he walks off like he just threw a touchdown pass because he doesn't want to show that to the defense. The young guys, they take it more to heart. It's on their sleeve a little bit. He'll learn as he goes along how to hide his emotions.
And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Second and 10.
And this is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A big play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And this offense continues to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, but it's going to be second down.
Second and 10.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Back to throw now on 1st down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. The 40, 30, 10, 5.
Get off it.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is Gibson. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A 20-yard touchdown. And this offense is running away with this one. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is Gibson. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
Show on earth, baby.
And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
An extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is Gibson. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
At their own 16-yard line.
New England trying to get a place on offense. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't?
Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Dietrich Wise Jr., he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Now the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is Gibson. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
Recovered by the kicking team.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
5 yards on the play. And it's third.
The Patriots going with a dime package here. 2 extra defensive backs on third. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Now comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is Gibson. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. Touchdown, Broncos.
Touchdown, Denver.
Get me! Let's go! Let's go!
So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is Gibson. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession. Punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Patriots send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. With it is Jackson. Still churning. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
A gain of 21 yards.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Broncos add on.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is Gibson. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
At their own 16-yard line.
New England them trotting into place on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action from Foxborough. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Intended for step up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 39. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Back now in Foxborough, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fights loose. Brushing off defender. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy,
But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after him.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed.
And to anyone who gets concerned when they see a quarterback running with the football, you just let him be himself. Let him be him. And I guess what you'd say there is hard to hit what you can't catch.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Broncos, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins.
That's a lot of it. 4 coops, 4 seasons, drop the top of it. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my girls head to toe designer. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. I can't hear the hate, got a lot of it. Take these bands to the bank, let them rot in it. So much ice on me, I wish I had 2 necks. I got homies that can sleep without 2. I got homies that can sleep without Gucci and Chanel, I got a lot of it. Walk up in the spot like, hey, what poppin' in? Gon' pop it for me cause I'm rich and poppin' in. Yeah, drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit.
Today, from Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. Broncos taking on the Miami Dolphins.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. So here are the Dolphins now as they'll be backed up to start this first drive. They will be led out by perhaps the best ever. At 43 years of age now, it's the great Tom Brady.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, but it'll be second down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after try forthcoming. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taking it about the 1. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And Brady's throw there, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Brady. And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's Jackson. Oh, some strong running. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there. touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Brady now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. A rare pick-6 thrown by Tom Brady. He'd thrown only 14 regular season pick-6s in his career coming into this season. A couple others in the playoffs, the one to Robert Alford in Super Bowl 51. And you might remember the Titans' Logan Ryan doing it late in the wild card round loss a season ago. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Brady going to throw. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And it won't count for 6. He's brought down, but inside the 5. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free. And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. With his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Broncos will extend their lead. He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown. He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball in the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there. Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you? At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
No, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 17-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll run the draw with Mostert. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
This is brought in at the 21. So a change of possession here on the punt. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. He's going to sling this. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way home for a Bronco score. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that wound up traveling an even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taking it about the... And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
One thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Fighting through. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. With touchdown number 20 on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
There's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion.
Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Looking to throw again on second down. Brady. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A big play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it. But he sure made it look easy there.
And that one spanning an even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Extra point attempt to come here. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
Well, conventional football 101 tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter. The Dolphins on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Brady to throw. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score from 19 yards away. And this offense is running away with this one.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just 1 play resulting in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. The This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. Two quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Miami set to take over.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you got to take care of the football in order to win it.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5. At the 30-yard line.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Shotgun now for Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they will get the 1st down here as they move into field goal range as well inside the 25. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. That is a near-perfect end-of-half drive right there.
And we've seen that many times from the best in the league. But do you really expect to see it done that well by a rookie? And how about the timing? Finishing it almost near the zeros, as you said, right at the end of the half. Great momentum to carry into the locker room.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they?
Bring in the second string.
And all the way home for the Broncos score. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season, and the Broncos add on. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blower out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On first down, Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On third and long, it's Brady. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We always think about picking up the first down, but in this case, they were thinking about something bigger. They were thinking about the home run shot and took it downfield. Unable to connect, but admire the effort.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jackson to return. Sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. A punt return of 65 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
Sometimes a punt is treated almost as a throwaway play. But when you've got a fearless return guy with extra moves, it can be an electrifying play for the team that returns it.
Now for the point after. Even larger here in the third quarter. That's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Taking it about the 1. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. Taking it about the 1. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And I think the offense is going to keep possession. Yes, they are, but they're backed up now at their own 2-yard line. So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Mostert. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And take it right at the 35. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback taking it in. And this this offense continues to pour it on.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Brady toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Brady. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return, Jackson. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. From 6 yards away, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And another tackle broken. And he's going to be out of bounds here as his guys will have it to start the 4th as time has run out on quarter number 3. Welcome back now to Denver. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. Mostert hit and he drops the ball. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off at the 23. And he takes this one back into the end zone. The defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They're suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Miami set to take over. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Now Brady to try again after the pick 6. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Brady, he gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. They'll start out here with the option left. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up for, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will make it into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where...
And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards. That is caught at the 7. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get...
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Brady. And going deep for Hill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 47. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys.
But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Fights through and now a crease. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go do the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I don't want to get too poetic here, really, talking about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Miami set to take over. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And able to give one man the slip there as he works his way forward for about 3. And to give this time to the tailback. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get them nowhere to go? Here he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that score.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
Recovered by the offense.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of...
Flag on the play.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a flag on the play.
Yeah, yeah.
Flag on the play.
Hold up.
That's a flag on the play. Let's go.
Touchdown, I just scored a whole bucket. I just dropped the bag on the tag, ain't nothing. Make them throw a flag when I pass, come through stunning. Call me tired, girl, and hit the hole, then I'm running. Get money, you ain't trying to get that second flag on the play. Hating from the sideline, a flag on the play. Like Julio with them Falcons, I just made a play. In the red zone, going strong, watch me shake and bake.
Let's go.
I just took off with that rock, just like Tyreek Hill. I just count 100 racks, that's a whole field. He don't want no championship, get him out of here. I just got a set, like I run up in the backfield. I just got a set, like I ran up on a quarterback. Shake and bake, make a play just like a quarterback. We ain't worrying about no formers, we ain't staying there. Running off the block, yeah, I'm something like a linebacker. I got juice like a Fanta, how you like it?
How you like it?
I'm on purple, I'm on yellow, like a Viking.
Like a Viking.
All these plays that I'm catching, I done gone crazy. I do my thing, 6 range, just like Tom Brady. Touchdown, I just scored a whole bucket. I just dropped the bag on the tag, ain't nothing. Make them throw a flag when I pass, come through stunning. Call me tired, girl, and hit the hole, then I'm running. Get money, you ain't trying to get that second flag on the play. Hating from the sideline, a flag on the play. Like Julio with them Falcons, I just made a play. In the red zone, going strong, watch me shake and bake.
Let's go.
I'm in the field like a Panther, I done up the standards. Like Michael Vick in Atlanta when it's time to scramble. Neck full of water, call me Black Bridgewater. Lamar Jackson, how I throw them Ravens cross the border.
Hold up. You know I'm a touchdown with the sack. Run up the whole like a running back on the play. Intercept the pack like a safety. You boys ain't shake the play. That's a flag on the play. Let's go.
Touchdown, I just scored a whole bucket. I just dropped the bag on the tag, ain't nothing. Make them throw a flag when I pass, come through stunning. Call me tired, girl, and hit the hole, then I'm running. Get money, you ain't trying to get that second flag on the play. Hating from the sideline, a flag on the play. Like Julio with them Falcons, I just made a play. In the red zone, going strong, watch me shake and bake.
Let's go.
They don't know my name, I'll get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains, I'll get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. They say fall and you let go, but I know I got an antidote to retain some kind of self-control. Look inside my head through a telescope. You erase all the calls from a telephone. No sense of smile, maybe tell a joke. Holding back your tears, singing minimal syllables. Yeah, look at me, at the asylum. Was a fate or mistake, cause the time ain't up. Yet the parts of my mind don't get much love. If you want in my head, come and call me up. You look like a twisted Robin Hood. Yeah, you take from the rich and the poor and us. Wearing diamond shoes where you walk your pugs in a town you create where there ain't no love. Where do I go? Where am I alone? Not on the phone. When I'm on my own. They don't know my name. I'll get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains. I'll get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade.
Stop taking but still got a reflux. I drip out from the socket to a teacup. Drink up inside, look when they peep us. Choose us in the belly of the beast, but outside there's a war going on your front lawn. Black Hawk, see the red dawn horizon. Blind yet I'm rising, abiding by laws of attraction. My thoughts still rising, thinking what type of knowledge don't sink in. Life gives you lemons and my only thought is drinking. Thirsty, will I be alive or dead before 30? That's all that concerns me early. Lemonade quenching my inner rage when it takes center stage way before they pour it on my grave. Minute Maid, let it set my soul ablaze on each and every way. Put me in the water for the save.
They don't know my name, I get through the pain.